going to talk about how I learned I can talk to dead people. I always laugh at that phrase because as my psychic stuff started kind of coming into my life, I never wanted to scare people. I didn't want people to think I was weird. And so I always kind of avoided any of the experiences that had been happening to me. The mystic experiences I had in meditation and psychic things happening, I kind of just really compartmentalized them in that back part of my brain because I didn't want to be the weird girl at the party who's like, I talk to dead people. Because I know what people think of that girl at the party, and as an empath. And so I was talking to this client today about when was the first time I realized I could talk to dead people, and I realized that this is a really funny story I wanted to share with you. So the very first spirit that came back to me after they crossed over was my father. And it's really funny because he was a biochemist and he was very skeptical. He actually subscribed to Skeptic magazine. I bought it for him as a joke and he ended up loving it, which is hysterical. But so it gives you an idea of the family that I was raised in. But he passed away unexpectedly, suddenly through a heart issue. And he came back to me about a week after he had crossed to the other side. And I was sleeping, and he woke me up out of my sleep, as if somebody's tapping you on the shoulder. And I remember looking over, and it was not a dream. As much as I know anything, I know this was not a dream. And I looked over, and I could see the outline of his figure, his spirit. And I went in holy crap, I was really scared, just as you would be if anyone woke you up next to your bed. And I asked my soul, who is that? And it was it's your dad. And then I was why am I so scared? And it was just because it's kind of shocking. And I looked over and I could see the atoms moving, or whatever they are, these little, I think they're atoms, moving around the structure of the figure. And I remember getting the information they were moving slow enough I could see them, but not fast enough to be physical matter. So, and then I remember receiving the information that he had worked really hard to slow his vibration down enough on that spiritual plane so that I could see it visually with my eyes. And it was scary for me at the time because I could see it moving in space like a figure. And I remember him actually getting the information. He was confused, it's your dad, and of course, any good Italian, I felt super guilty afterwards because I was like, Dad, you can't do that again. That was freaky. Do not wake me up like that. And then I felt bad afterwards. I was sending my father away, who had tried so hard to come and contact me. It can be really shocking to our ego as we start to open our third eye, our sixth chakra, and discover that there's another world going on on top and merged with this world, the spiritual world, which is on a different vibrational plane, but it's here. They are here. And we have to really go in and slow down in order to perceive that world. So then my dad started coming to me regularly and teaching me how to talk to the other side. But I kind of thought it was just with my dad. And so then I was at a friend of mine, I'll call her Tara. I was at her birthday party. Hi Tara, if you're watching, I'll send this to you. And we went out to dinner at a restaurant with a group of our friends, and we're sitting around. And Tara's father had also passed away recently, and he was this larger-than-life, awesome Chinese man who had a big personality. And so we're sitting there at the dinner table, and he came through really intensely. She was talking about the funeral at the time, and there was some argument about, I can't remember the details of something about the funeral. And I could hear him above my head, and he was like, no, that's not how it was at all. And he wouldn't go away. He kept telling me how the details of this funeral went down. And so I'm just eating dinner, and all of a sudden I couldn't help it. I start myself being well, that wasn't really the song that was playing. That wasn't the song that he really wanted. And my friend Tara looked at me, and it was part of her knew that her dad was here. And she was like, yes, it was. And she started arguing with her father, who was coming through me. And it was funny that she didn't even freak out. She just went straight in. It's her body just immediately recognized her dad, because she knew exactly her dad's energy or what he would feel on it. I don't know, but and I suddenly had all this specific information about the details of the funeral, and everyone else at the birthday party is just staring at us what is happening here? Because we started fighting, and everybody knew I wasn't at the funeral. About the details of the funeral. And then she started weeping because she realized she was talking to her dad. And the whole thing was totally shocking to me that I could A, do this, and B, what does this mean? That there's these spirits around and they're going to come through all the time. And so, and I've learned how to kind of control my space so I'm not like bombarded by messages from the other side. But I'm just kind of telling you this story because the reality is our loved ones are here, even when they cross. And the number one thing they always tell me as spirits is like, a lot of people call me to connect to their loved ones on the other side. And what they always say over and over is like, let them know I'm here. Let them know that like, they don't need to be like, where are you? It's pretty much as quick as like sending out the energetic memo, like, I want to talk to you. And you will feel them. You will know it in your body because you'll either get really sad or feel love or open. You will either feel it, there'll be some very subtle way. You'll either hear it if you're clairaudient, you can see it visually if you close your eyes, if you're clairvoyant. There's all different ways that we get our information, but you will start to sense it some way if you're practicing this. And if you really want to connect to your loved ones, they want to be in direct contact with you. It's great to have other mediums like myself help bring them through, but ultimately what they want is for you to know that they're still there and to know that you can connect with them if you want. So, and I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. I'm saying this because it's true. It is what I have seen over and over and validated with specific information that I had no knowledge of. And it's just true. I'll tell you one last story before I end this video blog is that after my father died, he was a biochemist, and we tried for a period of time to kind of unsuccessfully run his business. None of us are biochemists, so it was a bad idea. But from the other side, he was literally giving me the craziest specific information. I remember one day he told my mother and I, go to my desk and you'll find a yellow envelope on the desk that's addressed to a woman in Texas. Mail that letter. And we'd like go to the desk, and there the letter would be for this woman in Texas that was never sent. So that was actually part of the training from my dad. Part of the soul setup was like, you're gonna see that there is proof of this other world, that I am really real. I'm going to give you and your mother proof of like how real this is. So know that you are still loved. Know that you will go on. Know that you can contact people on the other side, and that that's what they really want, is direct relationship to continue. So I'd love to hear your comments. Put them in the comments below. And if you like this video blog, pass it on to a friend, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you think. Take care.